In this chapter, we'll be covering how to use a backplate plus HDRI combo inside of 3dsMax using the CGI.Backgrounds library. Alright, inside of 3dsMax, I'll be using Corona Render here. And in my environment, I just have a single map set as white. So if I go into Start Interactive, you can see that I have currently no environments and no backplates. So we're going to start with a backplate. I'm going to load a Corona bitmap and load the TIFF file. This is going to be my backplate. Now, if I load my Start Interactive, I still see a white background. What I need to do is load the backplate to the direct visibility override. Now we are seeing the backplate, although it's not displaying correctly. So what I need to do is go to the Corona bitmap and make sure to set that as a screen mode. Now, in order to get the maximum quality, don't forget to remove any filtering in the image. In this case, I'm removing the blur, setting it to the lowest value, which is 0.01. Now it's time to apply a shadow catcher material on our plate. So I'm going to link the backplate to the backplate node here in the Corona shader, and I'm going to apply that material on the plane. Now we have shadows displaying without the plane. So we have the backplate set up as well as the shadows, but we don't have matching reflections from the environment. This is where I'm going to be loading the RAY.HDR file using a Corona bitmap. I'm going to go ahead here and simply rename this to HDRI to make things less confusing. Now I'm going to go into my render setup and set that as my environment map. So I'm just going to drag the Corona bitmap here into the environment map. And if I go back to my interactive render, we do now have the matching environment on the reflections of the car. So we do want to check one more thing before we leave off, is that we have the HDRI actually matching the backplate. Now, what we can see here in the Chrome sphere is that the HDRI here is flipped. So I need to unflip this and set it to the correct way. And that way we also have the shadows matching to the backplate here. So I'm going to open up the materials, go to the HDRI, and I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees. And that way I have the shadows following the shadows on the backplate as well as the correct reflection.